Hey, it's Matt, and welcome to Little Cup. We're gonna get right in. We got invited to a draft league by a very good dude named Pup, and we are part of the Lil Pup Draft League. I know his actual Discord has a different name, or his other leagues, whatever they are. All of these links will be in the description, along with every single other coach in this league that does decide to upload. So that is in the description. Please feel free to join any of the Discords or subscribe to any of the people you see down there. Guys, I know nothing about Little Cup. I have done my research. I am learning for sure, and I'm actually very, very excited. Me and a good handful of the VDL crew decided to join, kind of to give us just like another league to do on the side. I'm not gonna like take it super seriously, but guys, I drafted a really cool team. Pup, owner of the league, did power rankings. I'll put that in the description as well. He said I was the best team. Just putting it out there. That means something to me. I am obviously not gonna go like super hard in this league, but I want to win, and I've been on a little bit of a slump in draft league lately. But honestly, let's just get into it. So, just before we begin, basic ground rules. One, we had like 110 points or something. No, maybe we had like 95 points. I think we actually had 95 points. We had whatever points. The tiers were split up pretty much how a normal draft league tiers are split. Highest point was 19, lowest point was 1, obviously. What's good to know, kind of more for team building, is any Pokemon 19 to 16 points, you can only get one of. Those were considered the Little Cup Ubers. So I can only get one of those Pokemon, and that Pokemon cannot hold the Eviolite. And that is the same with your Terra Captain. So I can only get one Terra Captain. It can be anything from below 10 points, so 9 points and below. Cannot hold the Eviolite, but it is Open Terra. It's Open Terra preview, so I can pick any Terra type. I just have to tell my opponent before the battle begins. I think I've said all I need to say. Oh, games will be happening at level 5. So if I talk about a speed tier, like if I say something that's like a speed tier of 15, that means its absolute maximum speed hits the 15 point. So we'll get into it. We'll actually get into it when I talk about my third pick, and I'll explain more so in detail of what that means. But guys, let's get into it. Okay. I definitely forgot. I forgot two things. One, I am the coach of the New England Roggenrola. Should have said that. If Roggenrola was in Scarlet and Violet, would have drafted it. Second, this is the league logo, the Lily Pup Draft League. Sorry, I couldn't remember it. Okay, back to guys. Let's get into it. We got Scraggy. We got the round 1 pick. Randomized board. We got the first pick. Now there were some other cool things on the board. There was like Delibird. There was Dunsparce, which is crazy. Stantler is probably something I maybe should have gotten instead of this, but I felt really good about getting Scraggy. So the thing with Little Cup is knockoff. And I say this like I know. I guess I assume knockoff is very, very important. A lot of these middling tier bulky Pokemon want to hold the Eviolite because every Little Cup. Actually, there is one Pokemon, Delibird. I don't understand why Delibird is in this draft. He's not a Little Cup mom, nor can he evolve, but whatever. Most Pokemon here have the ability to hold the Eviolite, and that's going to essentially, it's 1.5 its defenses, or double, I don't know. It makes their defense really big. So Scraggy can't hold it, but Scraggy can get rid of them. And having a stab dark type knockoff with a 75 base attack, which obviously doesn't sound great to you all, but in Little Cup, that's very good. 75 is very, very solid. Having that with knockoff is fantastic. Now, obviously this is 17 points, so it wasn't one of those 18 or 19 pointers, but I feel very, very good about Scraggy for two reasons. One, it is one of the best snowball potential Pokemon in the format. Scraggy now has access to Dragon Dance. I don't remember if I got it last generation or this generation, but Scraggy has the ability to Dragon Dance, and with a 15 speed, so it speed tier is 11, but if I run at max speed, it gets up to 15. And a Dragon Dance, I am outspeeding every single Pokemon in the format. So even though I have like half of the speed of some of the higher Pokemon. I believe that's how that works. Yeah, because 15 over 2 is 7. Yeah, so I believe that's how that works. Obviously, it'll matter in Team Builder, but I mean, with +1 speed, Scraggy outspeeds everything, and I have a +1 attack boost, and I have the first ability I want to talk about, Moxie, which is awesome. So if I pick up a kill, I will get another attack boost. So with really good, like, physical cover, I mean, obviously I'll get knockoff, and I'll talk about its other typing, fighting type. I get, like, close combat and drain punch. Fighting is very, very, very valuable in Little Cup. Fighting type's actually just great in Scarlet and Violet right now. Oh yeah, this is Scarlet and Violet, Little Cup. This isn't on Showdown, this is on Wi-Fi. That's probably important to mention. Fighting is very strong. Now, there are not a lot of steel types, but there's also not a lot of fairy types. And psychic types psychic and ghost types, to be fair, struggle a lot because there are good knockoff users, including Scraggy. So there's really nothing that's going to be switching in on like a close combat, except for a bulky fairy type, which my next pick deals with. But anyway, Moxie, bam, that's some snowball potential right there. I do have a really good coverage. I have like rock type head smash for the flying types, along with stone edge. I do have like crunch and dragon claw and iron head and poison jab. I have brick break. I have all the elemental punches. This Scraggy's just so cool. It can do so much. And if I want to run it defensively, which is a very real set, it gets intimidate, second grade ability. I can come in. I can lower the attack of opposing Pokemon. I can use like bulk up sets. I can do curse sets, and where if I don't care about my speed, I get Encore, I get Iron Defense, I get Taunt. Dude, Scraggy's it's so cool. A third ability is Shedskin. Doesn't seem great, but Shedskin Restman, that's a real set. I think Scraggy it has potential to be kill leader. If not, I think it will come to every game and just put in a ton of work. I'm trying to not make this super long, but also because I don't know a ton about Little Cup. Bam, second pick, guys, we got Glimmet. Glimmet's actually awesome. Kind of wasn't on my list originally. And I will tell you, when I drafted it, I thought it got Mortal Spin. I figured that out about halfway through my draft, so I did, like, we're fine. It does not get Mortal Spin, but what it does have is 105 special attack, which means at level 5, it has, at max special attack, modest, it hits 22 special attack, which is, I believe, the highest special attack in Little Cup, and one of the highest offensive stats in Little Cup outside of Granny Dust, which we did not get. But Glimmet is really, really cool, guys. It has 60 base speed, which puts it at 16, so 1 point higher than Scraggy. And again, I'll talk about the weird speed stat things in a minute, because there's something interesting there. But Glimmet is really cool. This is just going to be used offensively this season, I feel like. Like, obviously, it gets Toxic Debris and Corrosion, which are two very good abilities. Toxic Debris will set a layer of Toxic Spikes every time it's hit by any physical move. And Corrosion means I can click Toxic on, like, a Steel type or a Poison type. But really what this does is it clicks Power Gem, and it clicks Sludge Wave, and then I move. It also gets really cool moves like Rock Polish, or if I click one Rock Polish, I outspeed the entire team. It doesn't get a ton of coverage, but the coverage it gets is pretty solid. Like, obviously it gets Rock and Poison type moves, but it also does get Dazzling Gleam, so I'm able to hit fighting types that can kind of deal with it. Now, a Steel type shuts this Pokemon down 100% of the time, but there are very, very, very few good Steel types. And we do get Mudshot, so I can run Mudshot if I want to. I think Glimmet's really cool. I am using the shiny one, Big Anemone. Oh, Scraggy's ASAP for ASAP Rocky. He's my favorite. He's the best. My dog's also called Rocky, and Scraggy reminds me of him. This is Anemone, the rock flower. I don't know. There's not much more to talk about. Glimmet's gonna be really cool. I think really scary for a lot of people to deal with. Like, Sludge Waves coming off of this thing are going to be very powerful. And you know what? This is a great Eviolite user because it's 13 points. It's under that 16 point cap, and it's not, obviously it can't be Materia Captain. So if I do throw an Eviolite on this thing, it gets decently bulky. Like, it doesn't have good defenses, but 60 special defense is actually not horrible in Little Cup. Alright, next pick, probably my favorite of the draft. Maybe not. Magby. Awesome on. For 10 points, having Magby is crazy. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about speed tier wise. Because like at level 100, if you have a Pokemon with like 83 speed, a Pokemon with 84 speed is going to be faster than it if you both put them at max. That is not the case in Little Cup because they're all level 5. The stats scale down. So what I believe it is a Pokemon that's 83 speed to 92 speed. I wrote it down somewhere. It's something like that. Any Pokemon from 92 speed all the way down to 83 speed are going to hit the same speed tier, which is why any Pokemon like 93 and above is going to hit that that 20 point, which that's kind of like the top bar. And if that's not the exact numbers, it's something around there. But even though Magby is 83 speed, which is a lot slower than you get like 87s, 89s, 91s, Magby is the same speed tier as a lot of those Pokemon, which I think is going to be really, really clutch. It hits that 19 max point. Glimmet hit 16, I said that, yeah. So I love my speed tiers this draft. There's only actually one speed tier I don't hit, which is 17. I hit all 3 above, spoilers, I hit everything else below it, pretty much down to 12. So I think my speed tier is like 8. I think I crushed it. Let's actually talk about what Magby does, not just its speed tier, shall we? So first off, Flame Body is like a decent ability. If you make contact with Magby, 30% chance you'll get burned. Magby is not going to be run defensively. It is horrible defense. But what it has is 75 base attack, so same as Scraggy, and 70 base special attack, so also very strong, with a very high speed tier. So this dude is going to be run offensively almost every single week, and it's going to be able to run special or physical or mixed. You do see a lot more. Excuse me, I'm talking really fast, but I want to get this video recorded. I don't want it to be too long. You do see a lot of mixed attackers in Little Cup because of the way EVs work. Like, I don't 100% know how it works, but like, there's no reason in putting 252 into a level 5 Pokemon because you'll be wasting like 30 EVs at the end. Again, I don't know why. Like I couldn't explain it better than that, but you're able to pour a lot of EVs into like extra stats you wouldn't be able to do before. But Magby has a couple very, very powerful sets. If we look on the special side, not great coverage, but it does get like Overheat, it does get Psychic, it does get Clear Smog if something is like stacking up. Boost. It also gets Belch, which seems like it wouldn't be super important, but Magby does run Oranberry a lot of the time. So what if you don't know Oranberry, instead of doing like a percentage of your health, will always heal 10 HP. And Magby has a really good HP stat at level 5, being it's 21. So if I lower him just to 29 IVs in my HP stat, so I lose 1 HP, Oranberry, if I'm below half, will like essentially bring me up to full. And the reason why I'm talking about this is Magby gets a move called Belly Drum. I'm assuming you know what Belly Drum is, but I'm able to maximize my attack, and then if I'm faster than my opponent, I maximize my attack, I will get down to 10 HP if I did my IVs right. I will then eat the Oranberry, and I am now back up to full HP. So essentially, yeah, I lose my item, but I just maximize my attack, even if, like, after Intimidate, I go to +6 attack. And Magby also gets Mach Punch. Magby with Belly Drum Mach Punch is going to go crazy this season. Apparently, this is what Magby is doing on the Little Cup ladder. And I do not think that's all Magby has to do. I can run a special with a Scarf. I can run a physical with a Scarf or a Band. I do get like Fighting type Stab. I get Poison Jab. I get Thunder Punch for those water types. Well, again, as I said, like Mach Punch is priority is very, very important in Little Cup because there are Pokemon that can pick up speed pretty quickly. But I think Magby is an absolute steal for 10 points, just knowing how easily I can get a Belly Drum up. Okay, we're going to stick with this offensive pressure. We've only drafted offensive mods so far. This is a hyper offense draft at the end, I will tell you. We do get some good bulk in here. But next pick, we got Jewel. Oh, Magby's name Fingers. We got Jewel, the Blitzel. Very, very excited. And ladies and gents, boys and girls. Oh, I'm not supposed to say ladies and gents. I apologize. Blitzel's our Terra Captain. Super, super cool mod. Let's talk about it. First off, Blitzel's offensive stats are not that great, actually. 50 special attack is pretty poor. 60 attack is actually better for someone like the faster mons. Blitzel hits that 18 speed tier, so it's actually 1 point slower than Magby, but 18 is still very, very fast, and it's nice to have that point. But as a Terra Captain, I think Blitzel's going to be very, very strong. So again, I can pick any type, any week. So I can go Terra Ice to have a Bolt Beam spam. I can go Terra Flying with Lightning Rod or Motor Drive to be a flying type with an electric immunity. I can go Terra Water or Terra Ground and have a grass type immunity with Sap Sipper. I think Blitzel's abilities help with its Terra type a ton, and just having a little bit of offensive coverage is great for Blitzel because it's coverage outside Terra isn't fantastic. Obviously, it gets very, very strong electric type moves, but pretty much like the next best move is like Smart Strike at 70 base power. It does get Flame Charge and Trailblaze, which I think is cool. And who knows, maybe I'll run like Terra Normal Quick Attack one week. On the special side, it gets actually no coverage outside of normal type moves. So coverage is hard to come by. But with the Terra type, being able to change my types with Terra, that's going to make Blitzel a lot stronger. I said all abilities, I said his stats, said his moves. Moving on, I guess. But it's going to be cool. I think it's fun. Alright, we got Pineco. We got Alcatraz here. Solid bug type. Guys, I got Pineco for Rapid Spin. That's pretty much it. Sticky Webs are very, very, very good in the lookup, and I don't have a Sticky Web user. Nor do I have a Defog user. I really tried to get another one. I can't remember what it was. So clearly they didn't want it that badly. But we got Pineco. Pineco is weird in the lookup. It has 50 HP, which is like average. Has 35 special defense, which is awful. But it does have 90 physical defense. So this guy is 100% my ground resist. All four, or not all four, 3 of the 4 Pokemon I drafted before this have a ground weakness. Now, obviously, Blitzel can Terra out of that, but even still, Glimmet and Magby, 2 of my best mons that are probably going to come every week, being weak to ground, is not great. So having a bug type, and I do end up getting a grass type later in this draft, so I get 2 ground resists, because I don't pick up a flying type. Spoilers. Having a ground resist only at 7 points with a lot of bulk, I think is very solid. It does get the sturdy ability, which is really nice in Little Cup if something... do I get counter? I do get counter. So sturdy counter is going to be very helpful if there's like a physically offensive mon that's really racking up its stat boosts. I can come in, hopefully, assuming there's no... Well, even Pineco could hold the heavy-duty boots. Hold the heavy-duty boots, keep sturdy alive, and just take a hit and counter back. Status moves, Pineco's awesome because it gets... by the way, I didn't even talk about how well Glimmet can set hazards. It gets T-Spike, Spikes, and Rocks, as does Pineco. So hazard setting, that is in my wheelhouse with this team. I get all 3 of the hazards. I get moves. It gets Pain Split. That's actually awesome. I get Pain Split. I do get Curse, so if I want to boost that attack stat, my attack stat being at 65 is not awful, and I am 15 speed, which means I'm actually at 12 speed, so that's pretty much like the lowest you can possibly go. So clicking Curse, I really don't care about losing that speed to you, and I can boost that attack and defense stat. Offensively, I mean, doesn't get a ton, like it doesn't get Volt Switch like Fortress does, but I do get Explosion, which I will probably be running. I do get moves like Gyro Ball, I do get Lunge, Ice Spinner, Drill Run, Poison Jab, Seed Bomb. I get Rock Slide for those flying types, same with Ice Spinner, and I get Payback for those ghost types that want to try and come in and block a Rapid Spin. I do think Pineco's going to be very, very good in this format. Honestly, like is it perfect? No, but I think it's actually really good, and I think it probably should have been valued a little bit higher. Next pick, okay. Next 2 picks. I was required to draft them by my girlfriend and my best friend. I do not think they are amazing. However, I think they are underrated. So next pick, Big Drowsy for 6 points. Big Louise. I shouldn't say Big Louise. No, dude, Drowsy, she's awesome. So I'm required to bring Drowsy to 3 games this season. Just so you know. And now my opponents know that too. Drowsy's not very good. Drowsy's probably the worst Pokemon on the team that I'm drafting. But let's talk about what Drowsy can do before I talk about why it's bad. So, Drowsy, first off, ability-wise, it's not great, but it's not horrible. Insomnia means I have like a Yawn or like a Sleep Powder switch in. I do get Forewarned, so I'm able to get information, which means I can identify the foe's move with the highest power. I'll pretty much be able to figure that out most of the time anyway, but it does just give me information and inner focus, so I can't be intimidated nor can I be flinched. It doesn't really matter. My offensive stats are not good. 48 attack, 43 special attack isn't good, but again, I have 90 special defense, which is very, very strong in this format. Now, the psychic typing in Little Cup, I believe, will be very, very bad, especially with 45 physical defense, meaning I can't reliably switch into fighting types, because a lot of fighting types do have knockoff, and I'm not going to be able to take that very well. However, Drowsy's move pool is actually very strong. So I do get Curse, because again, I don't care about my speed. He's very slow. If I want to boost my physical defense and my attack, which actually isn't bad, Curse Drowsy could come in clutch. I do get Calm Mind. I get things like Disable, Encore, Haze. I get Light Screen Reflect. I do get Nasty Plot. And I do get Trick Room. So even though I have very fast Pokemon in the front half of my draft, I have very slow Pokemon in the second half of my draft, including Pineco and Drowsy. So Trick Room Shenanigans might not be a bad play. I do get Taunt, I do get Thunder Wave if I want to paralyze things, and I get Toxic. I actually do get Poison Gas as well, which I know doesn't sound like it would be better, but Poison Gas I actually think might be better than Toxic in Little Cup because of the way Toxic scales up. Like, Little Cup matches move pretty quickly, and the first round of Toxic does less than the first round of Poison Gas, and then the second round of Toxic does the same as the second round of Poison Gas. So I was looking this up. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I do get I also get Trick, which is cool. And then offensively, like on the physical side, I get a lot of coverage, you know. I get fighting type coverage, I get foul play. I do get knockoff with Drowsy, which is another great knockoff user. I get Drain Punch, I get Zen Headbutt. I get all of the elemental punches. I get things like Thief. I do get Trailblaze if I want to raise my speed. If I look on the special side, it's much worse, but it's still there. I do get Nightshade if I want to do just like a standard amount of damage. So I'll do 5 hit point, like they're all level 5, so I will do 5 hit points or whatever comes in, I think is how that works. I guess I'm not 100% sure. Whatever. Focus Blast, I do get like Grass Knot for those, you know, those heavy Little Cup mons, right? Psychic Dazzling Gleam, I do get Shadow Ball. Like, okay, Drowsy's not great, I'm gonna be honest. However, I'm very excited to use it because I think it's going to be really fun. I love this little dude. He's caked in chocolate. And we're going to move. Next pick, second one I was required to pick, Big Duskull. This is for my best friend. This is his favorite. Oh, I didn't mention. Drowsy's my girlfriend's favorite Pokemon. And Duskull's my best friend's favorite mon. And I do think Duskull has a lot more than Drowsy has to it. Still not great because it is a ghost type and dark weaknesses are just not like super reliable in Little Cup as far as I'm aware. However, Duskull I think actually brings a lot to the table. So first off, let's talk about its abilities. Levitate is very nice with this ground weakness that I had. Now I have a resistance, I do have Levitate as an immunity, and I pick up another resistance later, so I'm no longer worried about this ground weakness that I had. And its second ability, Frisk, is very, very good. Frisk is a great ability in Draft, and I think it's even better in Little Cup. What it does is when I switch out this Pokemon, it will identify the item of my opponent's Pokemon. Which means I'm going to be able to find the Eviolite really, really fast. Oh, excuse me, I'm so stuffy. I will always be stuffy, whatever. So I will be able to identify the Eviolites quickly, which means I will know what I need to target with knockoffs, or I'll know what, okay, I need to start whittling this down because it has a lot of health to it. It also has really, really good stats. So 20 HP is awful. However, 90 in both its physical defense and its special defense. You see what I was doing with the bulk here? I have a 90 defense Pineco, I have a 90 Spadef Drowsy, I have 90 in both now. Offensively, it's awful. 40 attack and 30 special attack with 25 speed, so this is the world's bulkiest Pokemon ever. And I'm not touching its physical offense. But move pool wise, again, very good. I do Calm Mind if I want to raise that Spadef, and Curse if I want to raise that Fizdef. Curse Calm Mind sets I actually think are kind of fun with Duskull, so I can run offensive sets if I want to. I do get Haze and Memento. I actually think Memento is going to be very good in Little Cup because these games roll quickly. I can Memento into a Dragon Dancing Scraggy. I can Memento into like a Rock Polish Glimmet. And kind of take the game from there, so that's going to be really helpful. Do get Plane Split and Rest if I want to heal myself. Do get Will-O-Wisp, which I think is going to be really important because there are some scary physical attacking fighting types, which now Duskull I think it can check. Duskull will probably be holding the Cobble Berry often. Obviously there's knockoff users, but Cobble Berry helps. With that, do get things like Skill Swap. I don't know if that'll ever help me. Do get Confused Way. Don't know why that matters. But pretty much I'm running Nightshade, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Haze almost every week. And if I need to hit like a normal type, I guess I have like Dark Pulse or like Ice Beam. I get Icy Wind. That's kind of cool. Do we get anything on the physical side? No. I get Shadow Sneak, so I get priority, and I get like Leech Life. So Duskull's not attacking anything, but defensively, it's very strong, and I think will be very annoying. I will kind of force people to bring up. Now, obviously, my only Dark Resist right now is my Scraggy. And it's a very good Dark Resist, but Scraggy doesn't want to lose its item all the time, so I'm not in a great place against Dark type, but nor is any team. And I don't actually, I don't fix that, but whatever, it's Little Cup. Next pick, we got Clauncher. This was a pick, these last 3 picks, I've never been sniped as much as I had in draft. It was like the pick before me. I wanted to get Cottony at some point. I wanted to get Marini. I was looking at Sandshrew. I was looking at like a bunch of different mods that all just got grabbed right before my pick. So whatever. So I actually wasn't even around for this pick. I had my friend. I was going to get skipped and they picked it for me. And I kept it because Clauncher seems kind of cool actually. Clauncher is a pure water type. With decent stats, right? 50 HP is average, but I get 62 defense, 63 speed after, solid. Not a great physical attack at 53, but 58 special attack isn't horrible with the Mega Launcher ability, which means my pulse moves have 1.5 power, so that means things like Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse. I think Flash Cannon also gets that boost. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard someone say that the other day. But Clauncher, it's cool. It also gets U-turn and flip turn. Like, you see this a lot with an Assault Vest. You do see it a lot with, like, a Specs. I could see Scarf Clauncher coming every now and again. Like, not super fast, but it hits the same speed to your Scraggy, so a Scarf is probably going to outspeed those, like, 19, 20-point mons. And Pure Water is just a really good type to have on your team. I do get Aqua Jet for priority. I don't have great, like, status moves, but I do get, like, Swords Dance. If I do want to run physical, I can run like Swords Dance, Rain Dance, Aqua Jet. That can go pretty hard if I try hard enough. I think Clauncher will come to a couple games. I think it's a solid. It's not a great water type. I would have rather Marini for sure. And I do believe Marini was actually dropped. No, it wasn't dropped, but I think it's on the board to be dropped. But I think I'm going to stick with Clauncher for now. Big Mariner, big shout outs to Tom, Central Coast. I guess next pick. Guys, we got Petalil. Petalil sucks. I love Turnip. I think she's super, super cute for 5 points. She's not a good Pokemon. Here's what she does. I click Leech Seed. I click Healing Wish. That's about it. A pure gas type is nice. I do get a ground resist. Like, I get Chlorophyll, but I'm still slow. Like, Petalil hits 13. So, obviously, I will be the fastest thing on the board under Sun. So, maybe I use this to help counter a Sun team, but other Sun Pokemon are going to be faster than me. Stat-wise, it's not great. It's 15 both defenses. It's 45 HP. I do get 70 special attack, which is, again, pretty solid. But I will not be using this thing super offensively. Like, looking on the special side, it's Grass-type moves, and then it's Pollen Puff. But its status moves are where it's at. So I get Healing Wish, which was huge. I needed a Healing Wish user. Again, I wanted Cottony in this spot, which would have been a Fairy type. To help me with that dark resistance. And then I wouldn't have gotten Healing Wish. God, if Cottony gets dropped, I was going to pick it up. I was going to get Deerling, which actually was dropped and is on the board now. However, I'd need to shuffle around points, which I don't really want to do. But Turnip does get, like, Leech Seed, as we said, does get Stun Spore, so I'm able to paralyze things. Does get Synthesis, so I can heal myself up. Does get Sleep Powder and Sunny Day. If I do want to run like a Sun team, Sunny Day with Magby seems pretty good. Clauncher, like I'm not too worried. I don't have super offensive water types, so I can help with Magby. I can probably help with Glimmet, weakening the water type moves. Sunny Day Petalil might not be a bad shout, but again, if Petalil comes to any game, Leech Seed, Healing Wish. And guys, last but certainly not least, I got Diglett. This mod's crazy in Little Cup. Probably, okay, I think Scraggy, Glimmet, Magby, maybe even Blitzel are all stronger. Crazy mon to get round 10. So 14-point Diglett, if you do not know, Diglett is tied for being the fastest Pokemon in the format. Now, there are many Pokemon that are tied for that, but at hitting 95 speed tier, or 95 stat points, what is that called? I don't know. 95 base speed means I hit the 20-point speed tier, which is the fastest. And it goes above all of those 19 pointers, which I think is awesome. Now, offensively, Diglett is weak. Its 55 base attack is the best it can do. However, coming off of Earthquakes, it's going to hurt. And I have actually no defenses. It's absurd. So I will die to any priority. I have used Dugtrio before, and I died to a quick attack from a Cobalion. It was tough. However, Diglett is allowed to use Arena Trap. The Dugtrio I used before could not use Arena Trap. Diglett, at 14 points, is allowed to use Arena Trap. How did this fall to me? I wasn't even looking at Diglett up until round 10. I was like, okay, I have a lot of points. I want a ground type. Diglett. Dude, this thing's awesome. If you don't know what Arena Trap does, if my opponent is not a ghost type or is not on the ground, so if it's not a flying ghost type, I will trap it. Meaning it cannot switch out. I will be faster than it, and I will just smack it with something. On the physical end, it does get like decent coverage, not great, but I do get Earthquake and Stone Edge for anything that's on the ground, and then flying types. I do get Throat Chop for those ghost types that are going to switch out, and I also get Sucker Punch, which is priority move. So I mean that's not a horrible bet. I mean that's about it for coverage. Do get Endeavor if I want to run like a Focus Sash set. I do get Memento. Again, really fast Mementos coming off of Diglett might actually be kind of a key to, like, I click a Memento, I get Scraggy, and I win from there. I do get Stealth Rocks. It's another Stealth Rock user. I'm not going to use it for Stealth Rocks, but I also get Swords Dance. So, hey, who knows? If I, like, if there's something that can't really hit me, like an Electric type that doesn't have coverage, I switch in. I get 3 Swords Dances up, maybe I click an Agility, to outspeed and a Scarface, and I win from there. I love Diglett. I don't think I'm going to bring Diglett to every game. I think Diglett is very, very strong, but I think the threat of Arena Trap does just as much as Arena Trap does, because it's going to force Pokemon into Shed Shells. I keep wanting to say Shell Bell. I'm going to force Pokemon into Shed Shells, which they do not want to hold, because they want to hold Eviolite, and then I'm not going to bring Diglett, and they're like, oh shit, I wasted an item. And that's the squad, guys. Genuinely, let me know what you think of this team in the comments below. Is it good? Is it awful? I don't know anything about Little Cup. Some of the Little Cup people in this league were either saying it was really good or it was pretty average, and I'm like, okay, none of them said it was bad, so that's a plus for me. I think this team looks really good. I have no idea. I play my first game, what time is it right now for me? In about 11 hours. So late tonight, because it's like 11 in the morning for me right now. But I play my first Little Cup game tonight, so wish me luck. We're playing Jamal week 1. I'm going to let you guys go here, and this will be going up on Saturday, which means my battle will be going up next Saturday, and if this goes up on Friday, I'm a dirty liar. I don't know. Peace out, y'all.